Oh, look at the size of that thing! Dude, that's not a bear!
Thank you for tuning into another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from alien ships in the eye of the Hurricane Milton to spirits being captured by a security cam in a hospital that may just leave you shocked. Ready? Well, let's jump in. We start today's episode with a big one, quite literally. It's huge. Take a look.
I can't see it. Can you see it? I don't see anything. Oh, look at the size of that thing! Dude, look at the size of that thing! Dude, that's not a bear! That's not a bear! That's not a bear!
The footage you're seeing on your screen right now was recorded by a group of young men who were out to explore the great outdoors. This was not their first rodeo, and they were naturally anticipating something grand. What they captured was grand, all right, but it was also ape-like and looked like it could have really hurt them if it wanted to. Sure, the clip is blurry and short, but if you listen to the original audio, it sounds like they were genuinely shocked and scared by what they saw. They uploaded this telling everyone that they had encountered Bigfoot. Naturally, some were skeptical, whereas others shared their excitement and wanted coordinates to the exact place where they saw the beast. I know this isn't our clearest and sharpest clip, but can you guys tell me what you see when you look at it? Do you agree it's a Bigfoot? Let us hear your thoughts in the comments section.
I can't see it. Can you see it? I don't see anything. Oh, look at the size of that thing! Dude, look at the size of that thing! Dude, that's not a bear! That's not a bear! That's not a bear!
A man recently shared this footage of a truly bizarre and mysterious sight. In the video, you can see a bright light pulsating high above, shaped like a five-pointed star. What makes it even stranger is that with each pulsation, tiny glowing orbs appear to shoot out from each of the star's points, quickly vanishing into the sky. The man who captured this footage seems just as baffled as the rest of us, leaving us with more questions than answers. Could this be some sort of UFO mothership, or is it perhaps a rare atmospheric phenomenon? The way the orbs emerge and disappear almost give the impression of some kind of advanced technology at work. Aaron insists it's gotta be a mothership, but what do you also think is causing these strange lights in the sky? A neighborhood was thrown into a frenzy and deep worry when one of their own was rushed to the hospital. It all started when a man was found unconscious in front of his house by some of the neighbors. If you're wondering what happened, let's pay attention to the security footage that was retrieved from his house after the incident. In the video, you can see the man arriving home, opening his front door, and as soon as he steps inside, something strange happens. He's immediately thrown back out of the house by an unknown force and lands on the ground, completely knocked out. Let's watch that again, but this time, pay close attention to the area near his car as he enters. There, you'll notice a hazy figure moving quickly, following him into the house, and that's exactly when the force throws him onto the floor. When his neighbors came over to check on him after seeing him fall, something strange happened again. Their dog followed and began acting frantic, barking in the direction from which the mysterious figure appeared. Thankfully, the man is doing fine now, but the entire neighborhood is shaken and worried. What was that figure? Was it something supernatural or just a strange coincidence? What do you think? During some sort of sporting event, there are people seated on benches watching the field. We're not entirely sure what country this is, but based on some details, it's likely somewhere in Asia. Now, someone sitting across from the crowd we're observing captured footage of a strange woman sitting amongst the audience. From this angle, she appears very pale, her skin almost ghostly. Her hair looks a bit messy, and something about her presence feels unsettling. She just seems out of place. Interestingly, another person in the crowd, sitting just a few seats away from her, also caught footage of the same woman. But from this close-up shot, you can see even some more bizarre details. Her eyes are pitch black, almost like deep, empty voids. There seems to be a cut on her forehead and another on her chin. And around her eyes, it looks bruised. As she raises her hand to her face, you can see her long, razor-sharp nails with her fingertips and nails dark, almost black. What's even more eerie is that despite how strange she looks, no one else in the crowd seems to notice or pay any attention to her. So who or what is she? Some are speculating that this could be some part of a movie promotion, with the woman simply in makeup for a publicity stunt. But what do you think? This next footage was captured in Southeast Asia, where someone spotted a fascinating little creature. It's a palm-sized winged animal with wings that are a striking blend of red, yellow, and black lines. It even has a tail and 4 legs, making it look exactly like a miniature dragon. Now, before you jump to conclusions, no, it's not a toy. This creature is actually a species of flying lizard, and what's truly captivating is how closely it resembles the dragons described in ancient legends. Many cultures have passed down stories of dragon-like beings that roamed the earth long ago, and this creature looks just like something from those ancient tales.
I thought it was like somebody up there, maybe like fishing or something. I'm scared.
A couple shared this eerie footage of a strange creature they spotted sticking out of a river. It's long and it has a head. The unsettling part is that this doesn't seem to be its entire body. There's more lurking beneath the surface. The creature keeps looking around and slowly moving forward as if observing its surroundings. Even as they zoom in on the footage, it's hard to tell exactly what we're looking at. Its appearance is baffling. Some think it's a paranormal creature or some unknown species that lurks around water bodies. Now, I was about to buy into it until I saw this comment. The individual thinks it's a cormorant with a frog or fish on its beak. After looking them up, I think that's possible. But what say you?
What is that?
I thought it was like somebody up there, maybe like fishing or something. I'm scared.
We've all heard stories of scientists cloning animals or attempting to crossbreed species, but this latest report from Montana takes things to a whole new level. An 80-year-old man successfully cloned a foreign breed of sheep using sperm and testicle cell samples. But that's not all. He didn't stop at cloning a full-grown sheep. He went a step further and crossbred this cloned sheep with another breed. The result? A new breed that he proudly named the Montana Mountain King. It's fascinating, right? This man may have just created an entirely new breed of sheep, but while some find it impressive, the law saw things differently. Authorities stepped in and arrested him, claiming that cloning and creating new animal breeds is a legal and ethical issue. Many like Julius, even though he wouldn't admit it, think what he did is groundbreaking. But what do you think? Should we be celebrating this man's ingenuity, or are authorities right in arresting him? This video comes from Ottawa, Canada, where one of the residents captured something truly suspicious: the weird-looking clouds in the sky. At first glance, the clouds appear grayish, but something feels off. They don't have the usual soft, fluffy pattern that we're used to. Instead, they look rough, almost like the ground when it's dry and cracked. But this is the sky, and seeing clouds like this is definitely strange. Now, we know there are different types of clouds, like mammatus clouds, which look like pouches hanging in the sky. But this is something else entirely. Could this be a new weather phenomenon? Have you ever seen anything like this before? This footage comes from Florida, where 3 large cranes were spotted casually walking through a neighborhood. These birds keep crying out strange and almost haunting sounds that echo through the area. Now, this is one of the regions expected to be hit by a hurricane. As the residents brace themselves for the storm's impact, these birds' sudden appearance feels almost like a warning from nature itself. It's fascinating how animals often seem to sense danger before it arrives. Is this just a coincidence, or could these cranes actually be alerting the community to the looming storm? Scientists are now speculating that climate change may have been the cause of the extinction of many advanced alien civilizations throughout the universe. According to this theory, these civilizations might have thrived for thousands of years, but eventually met their downfall due to catastrophic environmental shifts on their home planets, similar to the challenges Earth is currently facing. The idea suggests that just like humanity is struggling with the effects of climate change, extraterrestrial societies could have faced the same issue. Over the course of about 1,000 years, the planet they inhabited may have become too hostile for survival, with temperatures rising beyond habitable levels, ecosystems collapsing, and resources becoming scarce. As their environments deteriorated, these civilizations likely found it impossible to adapt in time, leading to their eventual extinction. Could this be the reason why we can hardly find evidence of other forms of life in the universe apart from ourselves? A man captured an unusual sight in the sky one night. It seemed like a storm was approaching, with lightning flashing across the sky. But what really caught his attention was a beam of light at the far end of the sky. The light would appear briefly, move toward the storm, and then vanish, only to reappear again moments later. Take a look. It shows up, and then it's gone, just like that. There have been numerous strange sightings in our skies lately, and many of them have been attributed to UFOs. Could this be one of them? What are your thoughts? When it comes to cryptids, we're used to hearing about creatures like Bigfoot, the Dogman, the Rake, or the Skinwalker. But have you ever heard of the Vesper Coon? It is said to be a strange hybrid creature with the face of a bat, long ears, and bat wings, but the rest of its body resembles a raccoon. What's even weirder is that it's got 2 legs and much larger than your average raccoon, standing around 10 feet tall or more. Someone filmed something they believed to be this creature at the edge of a forest, but instead of a terrifying giant, it was rather raccoon-sized. For those unfamiliar with it, this cryptid is believed to originate from Eastern Europe and is said to be a terrifying predator. However, despite its size and fearsome reputation, some claim the Vesp raccoon is simply a myth, with sightings and footage being nothing more than hoaxes. Others, though, believe it's real. And then there's this. Do you think this is the real deal? A woman spotted something strange in the sky that led her to call NASA for clarification. But what could she have possibly seen? Let's take a look.
What the fuck is that? She's moving. That's not the sun, y'all. Oh my god. This is not the sun. What is that?
It happened around sundown when she noticed something unusual. The sun was bright, partially hidden behind some clouds on the horizon, but not far from it was another heavenly body. It looked like a full moon, but much more transparent and moving fast behind the clouds. It was unlike anything she'd ever seen before, and it freaked her out so much that she contacted NASA to report it. According to her, NASA took her details, including her location, and said they would investigate further. Do you think we have something authentic on our hands, or is it someone trying to get their 5 minutes of fame?
What the fuck is that? She's moving. That's not the sun, y'all. Oh my god. This is not the sun. What is that?
A hospital worker was in for a shock during one of her shifts. Her colleagues had been complaining about one particular room that had felt extremely eerie, especially during the night. They had reported strange sightings but had never gathered any evidence. Determined to investigate, this worker decided to closely monitor the room using security cameras. And what she also captured was chilling. In the footage, the room appears to be empty at first glance. However, if you look closely at the bed, there is a shadowy figure moving around it. It's subtle, but the movement is there. These figures seem to be hovering or shifting near the bed, even though no one is in the room. Could these shadowy entities be the cause of the strange disturbances reported by the staff? Take a critical look and share your thoughts.
Oh, go. It's coming. Oh, crap. Wait, don't, wait. Go. Wait.
Let's take a look at this next footage captured by 2 guys who ventured out in the middle of the night to an abandoned location deep in the woods. Why, you ask? Well, they had heard stories of a mysterious creature lurking in the area and wanted to document their experience. As they arrived and started looking around, a distant, eerie sound echoed through the trees. One of them mentions feeling scared and hesitant to continue, but they press on regardless. A little deeper into their search, they hear another strange noise, this time much closer. That's when things take a frightening turn. Whatever was making that sound seemed to be approaching rapidly, and the guys quickly realized they were in danger. In a panic, they started running. The person holding the camera looks back and with an audible alarm in his voice says he saw something chasing them. Now the question is, what could have been out there lurking in the woods? Was it a Bigfoot or a skinwalker? What do you think?
Oh, go. It's coming. Oh, crap. Wait, don't, wait. Go. Wait!
For the past few months, there have been numerous unsettling reports about the quality of food purchased from supermarkets. People are noticing their groceries going bad far too quickly, with some foods being covered in mold almost immediately after purchase. Even worse, there are claims that some meats appear to be more plastic-like than real, edible food. Parents have also raised concerns about the meals being served to children in schools, noticing that they look questionable and lack quality. The public is voicing their frustration, but it seems like the government is either ignoring the situation or turning a blind eye. Food is an essential part of our survival, and if we can't even trust what we're buying to be safe for consumption, where does that leave us? The authorities responsible for ensuring food safety appear unconcerned, and that is alarming. Just take a look at this steak that was bought from a local store. It's literally oozing pus. What's really happening with our food supply?
Hey, we'll stop right up here.
All right, sounds good. Whoa. Jeremy? Jeremy!
A man shared bizarre footage from a biking trip with his friend named Jeremy. They were riding through a highland with the stunning view to their left, and the man decided to capture the scenery on camera. He momentarily turned the camera away from Jeremy, who was riding ahead of him, to focus on the view. But when he panned back, Jeremy was gone. The only thing left behind were Jeremy's bicycle and his backpack. Where could he have disappeared to? Some speculate that this could be a case of alien abduction, while others think it might be the rapture. However, skeptics are leaning toward the possibility of it being a hoax. What do you think happened to Jeremy?
Hey, we'll stop right up here.
All right, sounds good. Whoa. Jeremy? Jeremy!
For years, scientists have sent research teams into outer space, exploring and searching for planets that could support human life if Earth ever becomes uninhabitable. One of the leading candidates has been Mars, a planet that shows potential as a future home for humanity. However, recent findings from scientists in Texas have raised some alarming concerns. According to their study, long-term exposure to Mars's harsh environment conditions could cause serious effects on the human body. They suggest that not only could humans face the risk of going blind, but our skin might even turn green due to the planet's extreme weather and radiation levels. This startling discovery poses new challenges for our potential future on Mars. But then again, green as in green aliens? Well, naturally, Julius found it laughable, but he's not done extensive research now, has he? In this next clip, an observer captured a strange sighting in the sky. There's a disc-shaped object hovering, and at the bottom of this object are small round lights arranged in a circle. These lights blink on and off continuously for a while, creating an eerie spectacle. Then suddenly, the entire disc glows bright white and vanishes in a thin air. When you examine the disc closely, it appears almost like a shadow, with the blinking lights being the only clear feature. Some people believe this is a cloaked device or even a UFO, while skeptics argue that this could simply be some sort of AI technology. What do you think it could be? Take a look at this incredible invention. A woman is holding onto this odd-looking cup, and as soon as she lets go, it just floats into the air. In case you haven't figured out already, this is a gravity cup. It's designed specifically for drinking coffee in zero-gravity environments like outer space. The cup's unique shape allows the liquid inside to stay in place even in the absence of gravity, making it easier for astronauts to enjoy a hot beverage while they're floating around. Cool, right? There are countless videos of alien sightings circulating the internet, with some looking incredibly convincing, while others seem a bit questionable. Where do you think this one falls? The man who shared this footage claims he woke up in the middle of the night to this: a creature peeking into his house through the living room window. It is an eerie pale appearance with large black eyes, a disproportionately big head, and a small, almost non-existent jaw. It's the classic gray alien. According to him, the creature appeared to have been crouching beneath the window, observing the house. When he noticed him entering the room, it slowly lifted its head, revealing its face in full view before darting off into the night. So what do you make of this footage? Could this really be an encounter with an extraterrestrial, or are we looking at another case of cleverly staged effects? We've all heard about the devastating hurricane that hit Florida, but here's something truly strange that happened right before it struck. While many were preparing for the storm, with the weather already showing signs of the disaster to come, a couple living in Florida captured something eerie on October the 7th, just as they were watching the hurricane approaching from a distance. The husband was filming the hurricane when he noticed something bizarre: a green orb. The mysterious light shot up into the sky and then slowly floated back down. It didn't seem like regular lighting, which was already flashing within the storm. Both of them were in shock when they saw it. The footage clearly shows the green orb moving in a way that doesn't seem natural or related to the weather. Some are suggesting that this could be evidence of extraterrestrial involvement. They believe that the orb could be linked to aliens or even some form of artificial weather manipulation. What do you think? Alien abduction is a topic we haven't touched on in a while. Over the years, many people have come forward with stories about being abducted by aliens, and it's not just limited to humans. Farmers have reported their livestock disappearing or being mutilated, with many of these incidents being blamed on extraterrestrial involvement. Recently, I came across this footage that really caught my attention. It seems to show a real alien abduction, and I have to say it looks quite convincing. The footage was captured by a security camera positioned outside between two buildings in what looks like a narrow alleyway. Each building has doors leading to apartments, and this footage shows a woman emerging from one of those doors. She holds a rubber bag and is casually walking when, out of nowhere, a bright flash of light illuminates the scene and she disappears. Strangely enough, the rubber bag she was carrying falls to the ground. After a few moments, the flash reappears and the woman is back crawling on the ground, visibly disorientated. She struggles to get back on her feet, looks around in confusion, and then continues on her way as if unsure of what just happened. What do you make of this? Do you think this is genuine footage of an alien abduction, or could it be some kind of elaborate editing trick?
No mames, miren esa madresota. No mames. ¿Quién eres, güey? No mames, ¿quién eres? ¡Ay, hijo de su puta madre! ¡No mames, güey! ¡No mames, güey!
The man behind the camera in this footage was out for a walk one night when he suddenly started feeling uneasy. Trusting his instincts, he pulled out his camera just in case something strange was about to happen, and it turns out he got more than he bargained for. Right ahead of him in the dark was a shadowy figure. This figure was walking slowly toward him. It stood on four legs, but here's the unsettling part. It was unnaturally tall with a hazy, almost ghost-like appearance. The eerie sight sent chills down the man's spine, and without wasting any time, he bolted in the opposite direction. What could this figure have been? A strange animal, a ghostly entity, or something else entirely?
Aquí anda algo. No mames, miren esa madresota. No mames. ¿Quién eres, güey? No mames, ¿quién eres? Ay, hijo de su puta madre. No mames, güey. No mames, güey.
Mexico has always been a hotspot for UFO sightings. It's considered one of the most active areas for flying saucers and other unexplained phenomena. Let's take a look at one of the many mysterious bits of footage that have left people baffled. Though the footage is a bit blurry, you can still make out what's happening in the sky. There are several glowing orbs, and they're all contained within what appears to be a dark mass that keeps shifting its shape. This object is floating, and despite numerous theories, no one knows for sure what it is. Could it be a UFO, an unexplained natural phenomenon, or something else? Have you noticed that most of the giant footprints discovered around the world only show a single print? These massive footprints, believed to have been left behind by ancient giant beings that once walked the earth, always seem to have one puzzling detail. There's only ever one footprint. So were these giants possibly one-footed, or is there another explanation for why we only ever see one print? Just take a look at these two examples. Both showcase the same mystery. Just one massive imprint and no signs of a second step. It's a strange phenomenon that has many scratching their heads. Can someone explain this, or are we left to speculate on what might have happened here? Also, judging by the footprints alone, how big do you reckon the beings were that left them?
Hey, sit. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. Subhanallah, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah.
A man was walking through the forest one night when he stumbled upon this. Floating in the forest ahead of him was an odd object with a flickering flame hovering on top of it. The object was moving up and down in a smooth, eerie motion as though it was under some unseen control. The sight was so unexpected and out of place that he stood there unsure of what he was witnessing. He has no idea what it could be, but the residents of the area believe it might be the result of witchcraft. Apparently, before this sighting, locals have been reporting strange sounds coming from the forest, eerie noises that no one could explain. To add to the mystery, people have also noticed strange figures moving in and out of the woods at odd hours. Could this floating object with its mysterious flame really be linked to some kind of ritual or witchcraft? What are your thoughts?
Hey, sit. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. Subhanallah, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah.
This footage was shared by a woman who was in her house when she captured something truly astonishing. A strange, futuristic object flying downwards in her backyard. There wasn't a drone or a plane, my friends. This is a flying car. A husband was landing the vehicle, and just look at that. Flying cars used to be the stuff of dreams, fantasies, and science fiction. We imagined them only in futuristic movies or in our wildest thoughts, but now that fantasy is becoming reality. How do you feel about this incredible advancement? Does it excite you or leave you with concerns about safety? Recently, NASA has announced an intriguing plan that could change the way we think about space habitats. They are exploring the idea of building houses made of mushrooms on the moon. Yes, you heard that right, mushrooms. The concept is part of a project called myoarchitecture, which involves using mycelium, the root-like structure of fungi, to grow sustainable structures. Mycelium has the potential to be a lightweight, strong, and self-repairing material that can be grown in various shapes. This could make it an ideal building material for the moon, where transporting traditional construction materials is costly and difficult. NASA believes that by bringing spores to the moon, astronauts could grow structures using lunar resources. These mushroom-based habitats would be more environmentally friendly, possibly growing into durable, insulated homes to protect astronauts from the harsh conditions of space. While it may sound like science fiction, the idea of growing space habitats is rooted in advanced biological science. If successful, this could be a game changer for long-term space missions. What do you think? Could mushrooms be the key to living on the moon? Take a look at this incredible artwork by Sergei Cardenas titled Getting Old. At first glance, the painting shows the face of a little girl, but as you walk across it, the face gradually changes. Watch as it transforms right before your eyes. The girl grows older and older, until by the time you reach the other side, she appears as an elderly woman. The level of detail and the seamless transition between the stages of life is astonishing. It's not just a painting, but a visual journey through time. A man who lives near the forest was looking out of his window one evening when something caught his eye down below in the trees. What he saw was unsettling. A dark figure moving among the trees. It appeared to be a pale entity draped in a dark robe, almost ghostly in its appearance. The figure wasn't just standing still, it seemed to be moving almost as if it was dancing through the forest. It was far enough away, though the details were hard to make out, but the way it glided through the trees makes it stand out against the natural backdrop. Is this just a trick of the light, or could it be something more? What do you think this figure could be? Here we have another UFO sighting captured on camera. This time it was a woman out in town one night who happened to notice something unusual in the sky. Out of curiosity, she zoomed in to get a closer look, and that's when it became clear. The object appeared to be saucer-shaped, with lights surrounding it. These lights seemed to be rotating, suggesting that the craft itself was spinning slowly as it hovered in the sky. Despite the odd sight, no one else seemed to notice it. She was the only one looking up, the only one capturing this potential glimpse of something not from this world. What are your thoughts? Is this a UFO? This woman was in her kitchen when she decided to try out a little experiment. She turned on the faucet, letting the water flow steadily into the sink. Then she picked up an egg, carefully holding it in her hand, and placed it right under the running stream. What happened next is quite surprising. Slowly, as she loosened her grip on the egg, instead of it falling, the egg stayed perfectly suspended, floating in mid-air between the flowing water. The water's steady pressure created just the right balance to keep the egg from falling. It's like the water was cradling the egg in place, almost as if defying gravity. How was this possible?
Hi guys, good morning.
This illusion is absolutely mind-boggling. This man is walking with his legs moving on the ground, but his upper torso is somehow detached. He's literally holding his own torso by his side while walking. Just as you're trying to make sense of it, he casually fits himself back together like it's no big deal, now standing as a full human. The real question is, how does he do it? Some say it's magic, others think it's all just a clever illusion. Can any of you explain?
Hi guys, good morning.
A patient lies unconscious on the hospital bed while a doctor hovers over them performing what appears to be a routine procedure. But something's off. As the doctor gently pulls something from the patient's mouth, you realize it's not just a simple medical instrument, it's something strange, something that shouldn't be there. And suddenly the situation feels anything but routine. Look closely at what the doctor is pulling out. It's a long, writhing creature. At first glance, it looks like a snake, but there's something unsettling about it. Some are calling it a parasite, but can a parasite really grow this long? And more importantly, how could something like this have found its way inside a person? What do you think, though? Could this really be a parasite, or did a snake get into his body? And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, with our clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one. Speaking of wild predators, take a look at this majestic and beautiful wild cat. Do you know what species of cat it is? Do you have an idea of what it's doing in the footage? Tell us in the comments section and add one rare fact about the creature. Start your comment with bonus footage so we easily identify it. The most accurate description with the rarest fact will win a feature in our next video. All the best. Still on the paranormal, take a look at this image capture. We know trail cams capture a lot of weird and interesting stuff, but what is that? The individual whose trail camera captured this image is unsure of what it is. Some individuals online told him it might be frost on the camera. I don't know much about that, but this looks like a cobweb of some sort. Some in the paranormal community, however, believe that his camera may have captured something paranormal. The challenge, however, is the fact that we can't tell what it captured. What do you think of his hypothesis, though? Could this merely be frost on the lens as suggested, or are we dealing with something paranormal here? Have you had such an experience, or can you explain what we're seeing? Please talk to us in the comments section, for our curiosity and insatiable search for answers that's consuming us. Yes, I'm exaggerating, but seriously, talk to us. Amidst the solitude of the deck, a mysterious sight unfolds. We're looking at a creature with just 3 legs and a grey body covered in strange black dots that create a unique and puzzling pattern, unlike anything we've seen in nature. Despite having only a few limbs, this creature doesn't give up easily. It keeps pushing forward, leaving the fisherman filming it completely amazed and wondering what on earth he was witnessing. All who saw it were left with questions. Is the creature from some undiscovered world? Could it be an alien visitor from beneath the waves? Or maybe it's the last of a species that's unlike anything we've ever known. Perhaps something from the deep sea made its way up higher than it was supposed to be. We don't know, but perhaps the marine experts here could help. We'll be reading the comments. Would you explore tunnels? Well, the individuals responsible for our next clip thought it would be a good idea. Watch what they found. As they delved deeper into the maze-like passages of the cave, their headlamps revealed a creature that was unlike anything they'd ever seen. This cryptid figure had a strikingly human-like quality, walking on 2 sturdy legs much like a human, and it even had arm-like appendages. But it was enormous and had a noticeable hunch in its posture, giving it an otherworldly appearance. Its body had rough, textured features that hinted at a thick covering of hair or fur. At least that's what we think looking at the footage. What do you think we could be dealing with here? Please share your thoughts in the comment section. We've come across many innovative technological inventions over the years, some of which have been groundbreaking, while others are downright disturbing. Recently, I came across something that might just blow your mind.
Image of a giraffe that the computer has never seen. It's only looking at the fMRI data, and this is what the computer thinks the human is seeing. Yeah. But of course it goes further. So in this one, they said, can they understand the inner monologue, the things you're saying to yourself? So they had people watch a video and just narrate what was going on in the video in their mind. So there's a woman, she gets hit in the back, she falls over. This is what the computer reconstructed the person thinking. See, a girl looks just like me, get hit in the back, and then she is knocked off. So our thoughts are starting to be decoded.
Scientists have discovered that our thoughts and dreams can now be decoded. In other words, a computer can literally read your mind and even see your dreams. Think about that for a moment. A machine that can tap into the deepest corners of your mind and reveal what's inside. How crazy is that? Not everyone believes that this is true. Take a look at this comment from the original post. Simply put, our technologies are not as advanced as the individual presenting in the video is making it out to be. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to this, so it's hard to pick a side. Who do you think might be telling the truth, though?
The person thinking. See, a girl looks just like me, get hit in the back, and then she is knocked off. So our thoughts are starting to be decoded.
Those who believe in the fake moon landing are gonna love this one.
Is anyone able to get to space from going through the firmament?
No one is able to reach space by going through the firmament. The firmament is considered to be a barrier that has never been penetrated by humans, not even in science fiction or NASA's outer space movies.
A woman recently asked Alexa about the firmament, and what she got back was more than just surprising. It was downright chilling. Take a listen. According to Alexa, the firmament is a dome that has never been penetrated by humans. In fact, humans have apparently tried to break through it by shooting high-altitude explosives at it, but nothing has ever gone through. Mind-blowing, right? I don't know what kind of tale this is, but it definitely raises some eyebrows. But here's the thing. This isn't the first time, nor will it be the last, that this supposed dome over the earth has been mentioned. It's actually in the Bible, and more recently, even Ryan Garcia, during one of his outbursts on social media, spoke about this mysterious firmament as well. So what do you think? Is the firmament real, or is this just another elaborate hoax?
No one is able to reach space by going through the firmament. The firmament is considered to be a barrier that has never been penetrated by humans, not even in science fiction or NASA's outer space movies.
In the heart of the dense woods, this curious, mysterious entity revealed itself. It's a creature that defies any known or conventional classification. With the body of a human shrouded in a coat of brown fur and the unmistakable head of a canine, this being bore the hallmark features of the legendary Dogman. As the camera zoomed in, the creature's form becomes more pronounced, its presence both mesmerizing and unsettling. The Dogman, a figure steeped in folklore and tales of the unknown, seemed to step out from the shadows of myth into the realms of the tangible, if only for a fleeting moment. The authenticity of such sightings often sparks debates. Does this footage capture a genuine encounter with an elusive creature, or is it an intricately crafted hoax designed to fuel the fires of speculation? Do you believe in spirit beings? You do? Have you heard of the duende? If you haven't, you're in luck. Enjoy. Yeah, that's one of them. It looks like a mini human, and the man recording is even shocked. For those of you that don't know what a duende is, it's a supernatural creature or spirit often associated with the forest. It's known for its mischievous behavior and is similar to other mythical creatures found in different cultures, like elves or goblins. Well, irrespective of whether you believe it or not, we are seeing one in this footage. The individual recording states it's Colombia, which is also known to have these creatures. So has any of you ever had an encounter with these creatures? Do you even think this footage is real at all? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Animals are often said to have a sixth sense when it comes to certain things. They tend to catch on to impending danger much quicker than we humans would.
Explain this to me. Why are these ducks standing at attention in the rainstorm like they're about to receive marching orders? It's a beautiful rainy day and these ducks are just frozen solid.
In this video, a man came across something truly strange. A group of ducklings along with some adult ducks all standing perfectly still in the rain. They almost look frozen in time, as if something has them on high alert. What's even more eerie is that they all seem to be staring in the same direction, toward the pond. One commenter wrote, "Ducks know when a thunderstorm is coming, so they stay still." Could that be what's happening here? Are these ducks sensing an approaching storm, or is there something else that has them so focused and still?
Why are these ducks standing at attention in the rainstorm like they're about to receive marching orders? It's a beautiful rainy day and these ducks are just frozen solid.
Let's just say I was with somebody once and I saw a transformation that I can't explain.
The person transformed into something other than human.
Yes, I saw it.
Were you on drugs?
I was not. I was totally sober.
Wow.
During a podcast, musician Billy Corgan shared a startling and bizarre experience that left listeners intrigued and unsettled. He recounted a moment when he was having a conversation with someone when, out of nowhere, he witnessed something unbelievable. The person he was talking to began to shapeshift. Corgan didn't delve too deeply into what the person transformed into, but he was adamant about what he saw. He described watching in disbelief as the individual changed to form right before his eyes. The encounter was so surreal that Corgan hesitated to provide more details, perhaps out of concern for how it might be received. However, the implication was clear. He had witnessed something extraordinary and beyond the realm of normal human experience. So does this mean that we're not alone on Earth and that aliens that we're waiting for might already be here?
Okay, but did you say to the person, what'd you just do here? That's
yes,
not you.
And they acknowledged it.
And what did they say they were? From another planet?
They wouldn't explain.
Why not?
Again, without telling the story, it's a really messed up story.
A famous person?
No.
They transformed into someone else or something
I mean, Billy,
else.
I've had that happen.
I'm being vague on purpose. It's up there with one of the most intense things I've ever been through.
If you thought that was weird, clearly you haven't seen this next bit of footage. This particular one is from a father and son adventure in Georgia. Their adventure is cut short when they come across a creature that somewhat looks like a small version of the Loch Ness Monster. Despite showing this to various marine experts, no one could give the father and son duo satisfactory answers. They turned to the internet, and even then, there was no consensus, as everyone had different ideas when it comes to the identity of the creature. My team and I are also at a loss, so we throw it out to you guys as well. What do you think we're dealing with here? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Do you believe in superheroes? Well, the next footage might challenge that. In this intriguing footage, a curious individual found himself wandering through a dense forest when his attention was drawn to an extraordinary sight. Amongst the underbrush, a tiny creature emerged. This diminutive being had an odd greenish hue and a head that bore a striking resemblance to a fractured tree, with its spindly arms and legs adding to its curious appearance. If you look closely and imaginatively, you'll realize it appears to be adorned with a small cape. Cool, huh? One might be reminded of Groot, the beloved character from the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. However, what sets this apart is the very real and unaltered nature of the footage. The presence of this peculiar creature raises numerous questions. What is that creature? Why is it there? And is it dangerous? If any of you can help with the answers, we'd love to hear them.
What do you want?
A man was walking through town when he noticed something unsettling. Someone was following him. Sensing danger, he quickly hid around the corner of a building, pulling out his camera and waited to see what would happen next. Sure enough, as soon as the follower rounded the corner, the man was ready, camera in hand. The stalker was shocked to be confronted with a camera in his face. He was a ragged-looking man with a suspicious demeanor that only added to the unease of the situation. The man being followed asked him directly what he was stalking him for, but the stalker said nothing. Instead, he just turned and walked away. Thinking he was safe, the man decided to continue on his way and took a bus to his destination. But just when he thought it was over, there he was again, the same stalker, now on the bus. The situation had gone from creepy to terrifying. I'm not sure how the situation ultimately ended, but I hope he called the police. Good thing he noticed earlier. There are a lot of stories that start like this but end in tragedies, so be very conscious out there.
What do you want?
Here we have some footage taken by someone who was up on a hill looking down when they spotted something truly bizarre. The creature they captured on camera looked like a giant insect, at least the size of a human adult. It was just walking forward, seemingly unaware that it was being watched from above. As terrifying as this looks, there's something about it that seems off. The movement, the texture, it all feels a bit too unnatural. This is definitely leaning towards CGI territory, but what do you think? Is it just a clever digital creation, or could there be something more to it? In a deep, mysterious forest, a TikToker on an adventure hears a strange, scary noise that breaks the peace and makes him nervous.
And there's one over here. Looks like it's holding some water. Huh?
Heard the cries, right? He stands still trying to process everything and wonders what creature could have made that sound. Perhaps it's the shock that keeps him in place, because many would have run away. I am part of that many. After uploading it online, some speculate it may be a Bigfoot, while others think we may be dealing with a skinwalker. Despite the speculations, no one can say with certainty what we are dealing with. How about you? What do you think?
There's one over here. Looks like it's holding some water. Huh?
If you still haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do it now? Thank you very much. It means a lot to us and allows us to create more content like this. Moving on in the next clip. Do you enjoy safari rides? If you're planning to go on one, this next clip will teach you why you should make sure you move with credible institution and also listen to everything they tell you.
Oh my god, he's up. Oh my god, he's gonna jump on us.
This group on a safari ride suddenly encountered a tigress. This magnificent but potentially dangerous feline was cautiously observing its human intruders. Normally, one would take this as a sign to leave the area, but these individuals continued to take pictures of the animal. Typical tourist behavior. Moments later, the tiger became visibly agitated and started moving directly toward them. Recognizing the impending danger, the tourists began to retreat, but the tigress hadn't even begun giving them a piece of her mind. She accelerated and went after them. I know animals bluff this way, but could the wildlife experts confirm if this was a bluff or something else? Either way, the individuals fled the scene, which was the most logical thing to do. My question is, what would you have done in a situation like this? What do you think your response would be if aliens were to climb onto your roof? Well, the individual in the next clip I'm about to show you thought standing still and recording was the best decision. Take a look. The individual recording believes that aliens made their way to his property. For some funny reason, they chose to move around on the roof of this structure. We don't get to see a face, but the body structure and movement are far from natural, which is the reason for him stating that this has got to be an alien. I was sold on this, well, not completely, just a little, until I saw his comment under the original post. This has me thinking we could be looking at a human pretending to be an alien and that this was probably an attempt to go viral. What do you think? Locals in a remote area were out one night when they came across something that left them completely stunned.
Olha, tá vendo aí, Drake? Tem gente que não acredita não numa porra dessa, olha. E tá se mexendo, olha. Misericórdia. Como é que pode uma porra dessa?
It was a floating ball of fire hovering eerily above the ground. None of them could explain how it got there or where it had come from. The orbs of flames just there, suspended in the air, flickering ominously as if it had a mind of its own. The sight of it was mesmerizing, yet terrifying. They were all too frightened to get any closer to it. The way it floated was very haunting, but what could this be or mean? Some of the locals say it might be a fire deity being sent to deliver some sort of message or warning, but no one knows for sure what it could really be. What are your thoughts on this?
Olha, tá vendo aí, Drake? Tem gente que não acredita não numa porra dessa, olha. E tá se mexendo, olha. Misericórdia. Como é que pode uma porra dessa?
Still on chilling screams, listen to this next one.
Did you hear that? A farm animal.
What would you do if you heard these screams and cries whilst exploring the woods at night? Well, these two were startled but decided to investigate, wondering if someone was in trouble. Funny enough, the only people I see in trouble are these two. When they decided to leave, they started to hear someone asking for help.
I don't like this. Good luck, good luck. What do you think it is? Throw a firework at it? Let's go see what that is.
What does that remind you of? Skinwalkers, right? But that's not all. As they were retreating, the creature decided to show itself, and it looked like what you would expect a rake to look like. What do you make of the whole thing? Tell us in the comments section below. Next, we have footage that's the very definition of the word eerie. Take a look. The man in the clip's night was interrupted by some strange tapping noises. It's different when you hear such things and there are two or more of you in the house, and also very, very different when you are the only one at home. In this situation, the one filming was home alone. He follows the sound, which leads him to a small room. There, a mannequin strangely falls down. A mannequin, and he didn't leave? Anyone who knows anything about the paranormal knows that strange sounds and mannequins don't mix. Either way, he continues, then the glass breaks and the little girl screams.
Whoa.
Hello? If that's not a sign to leave, well, I don't know what is. This guy is either brave or very stupid. He keeps asking who's there and is met with even more strange sounds. It's at this moment he decides to be terrified and he runs. We don't get to see whatever was responsible for those strange sounds and the video ends abruptly. So our active imagination is left to decipher and decode the whole situation. Instead of throwing my opinions out there, I'm asking for yours. What do you think was happening there? There are countless conspiracies about UFOs using cloaking devices to blend in with our clouds. Well, take a look at this footage by an unsuspecting man.
Oh yeah, look at this. This is cool. There's the spaceship. You see it? It's right there. Yes, it is. I guarantee it, Veronica. Look at it. No, that's what me. Look at it.
In the sky, there was a craft that seemed almost invisible, perfectly blending in with the clouds. It was triangular in shape, nearly undetectable, until it started moving. As it shifted, you could see lights beneath it, revealing the craft's presence. This particular craft is believed to be the TR-3B, a highly secretive and rumored vehicle. But what's even more shocking than the footage itself was the reaction in the comments section. Many viewers suggested that this craft isn't extraterrestrial at all, but rather advanced human-made technology that is being kept hidden from the public. Others speculated that it was created using both human and alien technology. So could this mean that the UFOs we see might actually be the result of human engineering, or at least involving some level of human involvement? If so, what else is being kept from us?
I guarantee it, Veronica. Look at it. No, that's what me. Look at it.
The rate at which skinwalker sightings are becoming more common is truly alarming. Unless, of course, you're a skinwalker enthusiast and are looking to see one for yourself.
What the?
In this footage, a man was driving down a secluded path through the woods when something shocking happened. The woods on the side of the road were on higher ground, and suddenly a figure, what looked like a man, came rolling down the slope and fell right in front of the car. But what happened next is almost beyond belief. As the figure stood up, it wasn't a man anymore. It had transformed into an animal, specifically a deer. The man had somehow turned into a deer right before the driver's eyes, and then the deer bolted off into the nearby woods. What in the world just happened?
What the?
In this next clip, a man takes out a small black stone and places it on his glass counter. Suddenly, the stone starts to vibrate vigorously. It's quite a sight. When you look around, it seems the shop is a place that sells pearls, stones, and what looks like beads. Now, we know information on where this particular black stone is from, but the bigger question is, how and why is it vibrating like this? It's fascinating to think about. What kind of stone behaves this way? Is there something special about its composition, or is there an unseen force at work? Some people speculate that it's a trick, or that there's something hidden under the counter causing the vibration. Others wonder if the stone has some unique properties or energy that we don't fully understand. What do you think? Is there a scientific explanation for the vibrating stone, or could it be something more mysterious? A man was out at American Fork Canyon when he saw something moving among the trees. At first, he thought it was a moose or an elk, but as he got closer and took a better look, he realized something was off. As soon as he noticed it, he took off running, and you can see it all in the footage. Let's zoom in and take a closer look at the creature. Right there, standing on two legs, almost cloaked by the dense forest, you can see the outline of a hairy creature. That's no moose or elk. It's very obvious what we're looking at here. A Bigfoot. The creature is upright, with a distinct humanoid shape covered in thick fur. The way it moves and stands is unlike any known animal in the area. Imagine being in his shoes, out for a peaceful hike and suddenly spotting this mysterious figure. Your heart would start racing, and you'd probably question if your eyes were playing tricks on you. But the footage doesn't lie. There's something there. People have been reporting sightings of Bigfoot for decades, and yet each new piece of evidence brings fresh excitement and skepticism. Is this the proof we've been waiting for, or is this just another hoax? The brain is a very tricky organ, capable of amazing feats and strange deceptions. It's crucial to our existence, but it can sometimes lead us down a path of illusions. Check out this mind-boggling experiment.
Poder da mente.
You're going to make these people believe that this fake rubber prop is actually their real arm.
Seems unlikely.
This is a Fibonacci silk, but let me show you how it works. If I drape it like this, simultaneously.
In the video, a man uses a fake hand to trick people into thinking it's their real hand. Did you see that? It's absolutely wild. The participants know it's a fake hand. They can clearly see their own arm on the table with the fake hand placed beside it, separated by a board. Yet somehow their brain starts to perceive the fake hand as their own. What's really crazy is that they began to feel sensations from the fake hand. Even when a needle is stuck into it, they react as if they're experiencing the pain, despite their actual hand being untouched. This experiment shows just how easily our brains can be fooled.
Poder da mente.
Starts to connect the fake arm sensations and make them real. Do you feel this?
Yes.
And that?
Yes.
Someone went into the woods to cut down a tree, but what happened next was truly bizarre. As soon as the first cut was made, there was a sudden gush of air rushing out of the tree. You can clearly hear the sound of the air flowing out, almost like the tree was exhaling. It's such a strange phenomenon, something you don't see every day, or ever for that matter. Trees aren't supposed to do that, right? So what could be causing it? Well, I did some research, and this is what I discovered. When air or gas rushes out of a tree after it's cut, it's usually due to the phenomenon called embolism, or the release of trapped air or gas pockets within the tree. Trees transport water and nutrients throughout a network of vessels called xylem. In certain conditions, such as during extreme drought, air can enter these vessels, forming air bubbles. These bubbles can be under pressure, especially if the tree has been stressed by lack of water or if there is a specific environmental factor at play. When the tree is cut, these pressurized air pockets are suddenly exposed to the outside environment, causing the air to rush out, which can create the sound you heard. It's almost as if the tree is exhaling because of the release of this trapped air. While it's not common, this phenomenon does happen, and it's usually tied to the tree's internal water and nutrient transport system. So while it might seem eerie or unexplainable, it actually has a scientific basis. What do you think, though? Someone captured this bizarre sight from across the street, a long pinkish creature sticking out of a hole in the wall. The creature's appearance is strange and unsettling. It looks like a type of tongue or tentacle, but it has a smoother texture, almost like it's covered in some sort of shiny synthetic material. As you watch the footage, you can't help but notice the way it moves. The motion is almost too smooth and too fluid, giving it an unnatural, eerie quality. The creature wriggles and undulates in a way that seems more like something you'd see in a special effects movie than in real life. This brings up an interesting question. Is this creature real, or is it a product of CGI? While the previous script might have been scary, this next one would have you scratching your head. As you can see, it's a night out on the streets. Everyone appears to be having fun with people cheering and laughing. A man was recording the whole thing, and he ended up recording more than he had initially planned. While reviewing the footage, he noticed something rather bizarre occurring that evening. A man suddenly emerged from between two moving trucks in the middle of the road. He just nonchalantly walked off the road like nothing had happened, completely unfazed. It was as if he'd appeared out of thin air. The craziest part is that the person filming didn't notice this at the time, since he seemingly blended in with everyone and everything happening. This mysterious appearance had raised all sorts of speculations. Could this be evidence of time travelers living among us, just moved through time to get there? Or is there a better explanation for it? Share your thoughts. When I saw this next footage, I was so shocked. Take a look.
Move!
A man found himself stranded on a deserted road in the middle of nowhere. And the reason? There was a pool of water in the middle of the road. Now, this isn't just any ordinary puddle, because what happens next is beyond belief. He decided to throw a bottle into the water, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, a massive crocodile surfaced, wiggling about in the water. A large one at that. The fact that such a massive creature could be lurking in what seemed like just a harmless puddle is truly terrifying. Makes you think twice about crossing any mysterious bodies of water, doesn't it? What would you do if you found yourself in this situation?
Move!
We all know how shadows work. When an object blocks light, it casts its form onto a surface. We all have shadows, right?
Someone explain to me what the fuck this is a shadow of.
Well, a man was out one night when he noticed something strange on the ground. There was a shadow of a long pole, clear as day. But when he looked around, there was nothing that could be casting it. The only pole nearby was several meters away, and it wasn't even close to matching the length or position of the mysterious shadow. So what's happening here? Could this be some sort of glitch in reality, or is there another explanation?
What the fuck this is a shadow of. There's nothing above me.
Every single day, we discover something new and fascinating in the natural world. Recently, scientists have identified a new addition to the already vast number of worm species out there. This little guy has some unique and rather intriguing features. One of the most remarkable aspects of this worm is its ability to fold its face into its body. Imagine that. Its face just tucks away neatly, almost like it's hiding a secret. And when it unfolds its face, it reveals something truly unexpected: 2 black claws. These claws are positioned right on its face, giving it an almost menacing appearance. I wonder what those claws are for. They look like they could cause some serious damage, especially if this worm felt threatened or needed to defend itself. I know the bonus segment came earlier, but I want to see those who know their worms on this platform. There's a rather popular species of worms that this looks like. Does any of you know? In fact, they look so alike that many on our platforms feel it's the same worm. I want to hear the thoughts of those who know it as well. A woman was stuck in traffic, tapping her fingers impatiently on the steering wheel. Typical rush hour, she thought. But then something caught her eye in the lane next to her that made her look twice.
I don't even know what happened. I think the wind took it, but...
The car in the other lane wasn't just stuck in traffic, it was stuck in mid-air. It was standing vertically on its back tires, suspended like someone had pressed the pause button in reality. The front of the car pointed straight up toward the sky, defying all logic and gravity. Many who saw this thought it was the final evidence needed to prove that we are indeed living in a simulation where glitches do happen. Others thought it was just a well-edited clip. In my experience, things aren't always what they seem, or do not seem. Either way, what do you guys think? Glitch or lies? Let us know in the comments section.
I don't even know what happened. I think the wind took it, but...
This clip that has got everybody talking, take a look. At first glance, I see an animal character with a walking stick and possibly some clothes on. But that can't be right. I mean, it's not uncommon to see such things in a cartoon, but real life, there has to be something really wrong and off. That's at least most individuals, including myself, felt about that. But after searching online, I came across different perspectives. Take a look at this one. When you read his comment and take a look at the image again, it does make sense that we could be looking at a dog or coyote with a bushy tail dropped down. And if that's the case, it makes sense that the angle at which he shot it could give us the image we see on screen. What do you think?
Mysterious black ring appeared in the sky in Hampton Roads on Tuesday. Several Wavy TV 10 viewers reached out to the station with images and video of the ominous-looking ring floating in the sky. The messages started coming in shortly after 11 a.m. on Tuesday.
Recently in the USA, an unusual sighting sparked a bit of curiosity. A mysterious black ring was spotted in the sky over Hampton Road, and it wasn't just seen there. People across various places in the country reported seeing it too. The paranormal community quickly jumped on this, with many speculating that it could be a portal or something alien-related. The sight of such a perfectly shaped ring floating in the sky naturally set imaginations on fire. However, the skeptics weren't convinced. They suggested it looked like a smoke ring, which led to questions about whether there had been any explosion or fires in the area. But when authorities were contacted, they reported that there had been no such incidents. So what exactly are we looking at here? Could it be some unexplained phenomenon? What do you think?
Several Wavy TV 10 viewers reached out to the station with images and video of the ominous-looking ring floating in the sky.
Do you see those black fiber-like things in the snow? Well, those just aren't random debris, they're iceworms. Yes, you heard that right. Iceworms. Once they start moving, they look like things that could either zombify or make you sick, right? Well, rest easy, they won't. Scientifically known as Mesentacrecius solifigus, they are fascinating creatures adapted to life in the frigid environments of glaciers and snowfields in the Pacific Northwest of North America. They thrive in temperatures just below the freezing point, emerging at dusk to feed on microscopic algae, bacteria, and organic debris on the snow surface. If you're worried about them zombifying or making you sick, then you would like to know that they're not typically found in human settlements. They're highly specialized for cold, icy environments, primarily inhabiting the surface of glaciers and permanent snowfields in mountainous regions. These habitats offer the specific conditions of temperature, moisture, and food sources like algae and bacteria that snowworms require. So while they aren't really harmful to humans, there's even more good news: they don't stay near us either. Now back to our usual. A passenger on a plane flying about 30,000 feet above the ground from Las Vegas to LA captured something truly fascinating. Take a look. As the plane was cruising along, the passenger noticed these strange-looking bright structures on the ground below. It was almost sundown, so the golden light made the sight even more surreal and mysterious. The footage attracted a lot of curiosity and comments online. One commenter mentioned that these bright structures were actually solar panel plants. That makes sense given the reflective surfaces and the area known for its solar energy projects. Skeptics, however, believe that this could be more than just solar panels. The surreal light show could be some sort of supernatural display. Some are even leaning toward aliens, but I'd like to know what you guys think. This footage comes with little context, but what it captures is definitely strange. A passenger in a car was filming the mountains while driving when she caught something unusual on camera. In the sky, a flying disc suddenly zips across the flame at an incredible speed. It happens so quickly that if you blink, you might miss it. But when you slow it down, you can clearly see the object moving across the sky. The disc's movement is smooth and deliberate, leaving little doubt that it's something more than just a trick of the light or a bird in flight. Its shape and speed make it look very much like the classic UFOs reported over the decades. What could this be? A secret military craft? A genuine UFO? This video was captured in England and shows something truly remarkable. A resident noticed these bright lights in the distance around 3:30 a.m. As she watched, she realized the lights were coming from a rather large object hovering in the sky. The object was massive and the lights were so bright that they lit up the area around it. The resident couldn't shake the feeling that what she was seeing wasn't ordinary. She believed that this might be some sort of mothership, possibly a large UFO. But what are your thoughts? Is it an advanced aircraft, or could it really be something out of this world? At this point, it's nothing new when people claim they've spotted a UFO in the sky. We've heard the stories and seen the videos, and yet each new sighting still manages to capture our curiosity. Recently, someone shared footage that's making waves for its bizarre and unexplained nature. In the footage, you can see a dark patch in the clouds, but that isn't just an ordinary shadow or cloud formation. Within this dark patch, there are round orbs. The most intriguing part is the arrangement. There's a large orb in the center, with 3 smaller orbs positioned around it in a triangular shape. It's the kind of thing that immediately makes you think of UFOs and extraterrestrial encounters. The video was quite compelling. The orbs move in a way that doesn't seem natural for any known aircraft or weather phenomenon. They maintain their formation and appear to emit a faint glow, adding to the eerie effect. It looks like what we might consider a classic UFO sighting. However, as with any footage like this, skepticism is natural and necessary. Is this a UFO, or could it be some cleverly edited footage? With the advancements in video editing technology, it's easier than ever to create convincing hoaxes. Yet the details in this video, the way the orbs move, the consistency of the light, and the interaction with the clouds make it hard to dismiss outright. It doesn't have the usual telltale signs of amateur editing. So what do you think? Is this the real deal, an actual UFO sighting, or just another digital trickery meant to captivate our imaginations? You see it too, don't you? There were lights coming off the bird as it flew. That's definitely not normal, and people who saw the footage were baffled. How could a bird be emitting blue lights? Naturally, theories started circulating on the platform it was shared. Some thought the bird had come into contact with something electrical, perhaps lights that were going on and off. Others were very convinced that it had to be a drone disguised as a bird with lights for a mysterious and probably sinister purpose. It's hard to confirm and know for sure which of these reasons might be accurate given how far away the bird or device was. We haven't even been told where this was taken. It's moments like these that make you question what you are seeing. Have you come across anything like this? Do you have ideas what might be causing the lights to come off whatever it is in the sky? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Julius shared this fascinating footage with me, and at first, I found it a bit perplexing. The video shows two distinct lights hovering above the sea, with one seemingly positioned on the water's surface and the other in the sky. As it was sundown, it was challenging to determine what we were precisely looking at. The light in the sky resembled a helicopter, and Julius mentioned that the one on the water's surface could be a speedboat. The lights appeared to be moving in a synchronized manner, and there seemed to be some distance between them. The video quality made it difficult to make clear distinctions, but the sight was definitely intriguing. I'm curious to see everyone's thoughts on what this mysterious sighting could be. Cemeteries have some of the weirdest vibes. They're places where the dead are laid to rest, so it's no surprise that stories of ghost sightings are often hard to ignore. I came across footage from a man who was driving by a cemetery when he noticed something strange and decided to film it. In the distance, there was a bright white light moving across the cemetery grounds, but this wasn't just any light. It almost resembled a humanoid figure, silently gliding through the gravestones as if it was minding its own business. The eerie glow and the way it moved caught the man's attention immediately. He couldn't believe what he was seeing, so he continued to film, hoping to capture more. The figure seemed almost ethereal, too divine to be an illusion, yet too mysterious to be easily explained. Did this man just capture a ghost on camera, or could it be something else entirely? Kindly share your thoughts. Starting today's episode, we've got a Trailcam clip that may just make you reconsider what your definition of reality is. Take a look. It starts out as an ordinary Trailcam capture with a deer standing near the camera. After a few seconds, however, the deer starts looking around almost as though it could tell there was something there with it. At first glance, it may seem like nothing, but after a second and third look, you see it. There's a transparent being or animal there with it. It appears to be bipedal and huge. Makes me think of Sasquatch or Bigfoot, but the big guy isn't transparent, right? This made many who saw the clip initially think it was fake until someone pointed out that the deer actually looks in its direction and somewhat acknowledges its presence. Now, I just described what's happening in the scene. Now we need an explanation. What was the creature and why was it transparent? And how did the creature know of its presence? If you have any answers, please share them in the comments section. Next, we've got another enigma that has had me scratching my head all day. I thought I'd share the headache with you as well in today's bonus segment. Well, enough talk. By the time this video goes up, Julius will be back from his trip and I will have the answers. Whoever gives the best answer has something special from me. If you have paid attention, the shoutouts already started, so don't take yourself out of this one. All the best. Next, we've got this clip from a man who was out in the woods during sundown when he started hearing strange noises coming from around him. The area was mostly open, with just a few trees scattered far off in the distance. As he looked toward one of the trees, he noticed something terrifying. A creature with glowing eyes perched on one of the branches. The creature was crouched sideways on the trunk of the tree, almost like it was clinging to the bark. Its appearance was disturbingly human-like, but something about it was off, something unnatural. The man, gripped by fear, quickly fled the scene, not wanting to stick around to find out what it was. When he later posted the footage online, it sparked a flurry of reactions. Many people speculated that this could be the legendary rake, a creature known for its eerie, humanoid appearance and glowing eyes. Some also suspected it might be a skinwalker. Not everyone's buying what he's selling, though. Some think it's all made up, while others think he's just trying to scare those who live near him. You've seen the clip, so what do you think? This footage was taken by a man who ventured out one night after a snowstorm. As he walked by an old abandoned graveyard, he noticed a statue in the distance. Even though he was several meters away, something about the statue caught his attention. Pay attention to the clip. He claims that the statue's hands moved. Now, I don't know about you, but when I watched this, I didn't immediately notice anything. But he was adamant that there was movement, and it's one of those things that makes you wonder if your eyes are playing tricks on you, or if there's something more to it. What do you think? Did the statue move, or is this just a case of imagination running wild? This next one is a bit disturbing, but given the fact that you guys mean so much to us, I thought I'd include it in today's clip, just in case it helps someone keep their eyes. You see this woman's eye, right? One of her eyes is red and looks very bad. No, she's not a skinwalker or any of the creatures of the night we love so dearly. She's actually suffering from a condition known as acanthamoeba keratitis. For those unfamiliar with the term, it's an eye infection caused by a parasite called acanthamoeba. These parasites live in water, and when they make their way to your eye, they can be very dangerous. People who use contact lenses are especially prone to this infection. Here's how it happens. If you wash your face with undistilled or unboiled water, there's a chance these parasites could get into your eyes. Once they're in, they can cause serious damage. If you wear contact lenses, it's crucial to never shower, swim, or use a hot tub with them in. The risk is just too high. Always make sure to remove your lenses before coming into contact with water. So if you're a contact lens wearer, take this as a reminder to be extra careful with your eye hygiene. It might seem like a hassle, but it's worth it to avoid an infection like acanthamoeba keratitis. Have you seen anything like this? Never have I seen such an amazing splash of rainbow colors across the sky. It's like someone took a bucket full of rainbow paint and just splashed it all over. It's not the typical arch of a rainbow you might expect. Instead, it's an oddly shaped, colorful patch that looks almost magical. Once it was shared on our paranormal platform, it got everyone talking. We could see the rainbow colors in the sky, but couldn't explain why it was there. Some thought it was an illusion, others thought it was evidence that we live in a simulated reality. Others also felt this was proof that our sky was not real. This is one of those videos where I don't have an explanation. Do you? Do you enjoy monster drinks? Well, you might think twice after seeing this experiment. Someone took a full can of Monster, poured it into a cooking pan, and set it on the stove. As it started to boil, something surprising happened. The liquid began to reduce, turning into a dark, thick syrup. Guess what that thick substance is? It's sugar. A staggering amount of sugar. It's shocking to see just how much sugar is packed into one of these energy drinks. What seems like a harmless, energizing beverage is actually loaded with sugar that could have some serious health implications if consumed regularly. Next time you reach for a Monster, you might want to think about what's actually inside the can. How do you feel about shapeshifters? You know what? Don't answer yet. Our next clip is one that's been circulating and stirring up intrigue and speculation. The footage taken from a security camera outside a roadside restaurant reveals an astonishing sight. It begins innocuously enough. A stray dog is seen wandering near the restaurant under the cover of night. But then something inexplicable occurs. Slowly, the dog begins to change, its form shifting in a way that defies logic. The transformation is subtle at first, almost imperceptible, but within moments, the dog has completely morphed into a human figure. Just as swiftly, the person steps out of view, leaving behind more question than answers. Those who witnessed the event firsthand whisper about the possibilities. Some speak of witchcraft, others of a supernatural force at play. What truly happened that night remains a mystery, fueling a sense of unease and wonder. If you were to ask us, naturally we're divided between Julius's opinion that this is nothing more than a clip that's being digitally manipulated, and Aaron's opinion that this has to be one of the few authentic shape-shifting clips out there. Well, you've seen it. What do you think? This next footage comes from Vietnam, and it's downright eerie. A woman stepped outside to turn on the porch lights to brighten up the house since it was dark. Just then, the home security camera catches something unusual. A small creature runs from the closed gate and darts further into the house. Curious, the woman goes to take a closer look, but as soon as she gets a good glimpse of the creature, she bolts out of there in sheer fright. When you take a closer look at the footage, you'll see why she was so scared. This thing, or being, or whatever you want to call it, is humanoid. It has a pair of arms and legs that look human, but way too small to belong to any person. In fact, the being by itself is way too small, and that has had many individuals talking. Some say it's a gnome, others think it might be a duende, and there are even those who claim it's a leprechaun. Gnomes are said to be small, earthy creatures, while duendes are mischievous spirits known in Latin American folklore. And leprechauns, well, we all know they're the little Irish fairies with a knack for hiding pots of gold. Skeptics, however, have their theories. Some suggest it might be a small animal or even a cleverly edited video. But the woman's genuine reaction of fear adds weight to the possibility that she saw something truly out of the ordinary. What do you guys think, though? You won't believe what was found recently. this strange device that has everyone scratching their heads. When a piece of metal was placed on it, the metal didn't just get hot, it melted while emitting flames. Now, we're not exactly sure what this device is, but it's got people talking. Some folks believe it could be some sort of alien technology. Perhaps it was left behind by extraterrestrials, or maybe it's a piece of top-secret military tech that somehow got misplaced. Some say it might be an experimental piece of equipment designed for high-heat applications, but who knows if that is the case. This creature was spotted on the ground in Las Vegas, and it's unlike anything you've seen before. Imagine a dark, thick liquid, almost like oil, but with one horrifying twist. It's alive. As it moved across the ground, it generated tentacle-like appendages similar to an octopus. These tendrils seemed to grow and retract as they slithered, making it one of the most unsettling sights you can imagine. It's almost as if this thing could be some sort of labescapy, reminding me of the Calvin creature from the movie Life. The locals who witnessed this were left baffled, unsure of what they'd just seen. Could this be some unknown life form or something even more sinister? Share your thoughts. Birds flying in swarms are nothing new. From a distance, they often resemble dark clouds as they move through the sky, sometimes forming strange and mesmerizing patterns. But in this particular footage, something rather peculiar happens. The birds suddenly form an upside-down cross in the sky, holding that formation for a while before eventually changing shape. It's such an odd and seemingly random pattern for them to take, don't you think? Aaron believes there could be something more behind it, perhaps a sign or an omen of some kind. But what do you think? Is it just a coincidence, or could there be a deeper meaning to this eerie formation? Shapeshifters are creatures that can take the form of anything. They're mostly mystical creatures, but this footage right here might make you think otherwise. At what looks like some sort of corporate event, you can see a woman in black hugging a man in blue. As soon as they part from the hug, something incredible happens. Did you see it? Let's take another look and focus closely on the woman. There it is. The woman shapeshifts into a man. Just look at how her face distorts before finally settling into the form of a man. It's very chilling to watch. The transformation looks too real to be fake, leaving many people stunned. How could something like this be possible? As usual, opinions are divided on this. Some think the clip is genuine and it shows a part of society that's typically hidden from us, whereas others think it's a cleverly edited clip meant to offset and trick the masses. You've seen it. What do you think? This next one is one that had all the men in our studio squirming. We're not sure what the exact backstory is, but the one who sent us the clip states that while working at a site, a construction worker found a small building where he decided to spend the night. He didn't have much in the way of comfort, so he slept on the concrete floor with some bed sheets to combat the cold and discomfort. As he fell asleep, he felt something slithering into his shorts. It was not the warmth of a female human, but something else. Even if it were female, this felt scaly and rough. He looked and then discovered that there was a snake taking comfort in his shorts. I mean, it was a cold night after all. Despite being terrified and scared of getting bitten, he somehow managed to stay completely still and called emergency services. Somehow, he and his new occupant managed to wait for help until it arrived. The minutes must have felt like hours. When the emergency team finally came, they had to be extremely careful not to startle the snake. With incredible precision and patience, they managed to get the snake out of his shorts without it biting him. And the good news is, they got the right snake, if you know what I mean. No matter how you look at it, that was a close one. Just thinking about it gives me chills. Can you imagine being in that situation, trying to stay as still as possible while a snake is literally in your shorts? It's the stuff of nightmares and brings tears to my eyes. What would you have done in his place? A homeowner was reviewing his doorbell camera footage when he came across something truly unsettling. In the footage, a dark figure suddenly appeared out of nowhere walking by the front of the house. What makes this even more eerie is that the figure didn't approach the door or attempt to enter the house. It simply appeared for a brief moment, moving across the camera's view, and then vanished just as mysteriously as it appeared. The figure's appearance was so fleeting that it almost seemed like a shadow passing by. But there was no one else around and no other movement that could explain it. Who or what was this figure? Where did it come from? And where did it go? A TikToker recently shared a bizarre and unsettling encounter they experienced during what was supposed to be a peaceful couple's vacation. They had visited a scenic waterfall, a spot known for its breathtaking views and tranquil atmosphere. Like many tourists, they snapped a few photos to capture the beauty of the moment. The days seemed perfect, just the two of them alone in nature. But when they returned home and began reviewing the photos, they noticed something chilling in one of the images. In the background, perched on the rocks behind them, was a mysterious figure. At first glance, it seemed like a person, but the couple quickly realized something was off. They were certain that they had been alone at the site. No one else was around when the photo was taken. The figure in the photo appears pale, almost ghostly, and seemed to be draped in what looked like white robes. Its presence was unsettling, as if it didn't belong in the scene. The couple couldn't shake the feeling that they had captured something otherworldly on camera. As they shared the photo online, the reactions poured in. Many people speculated that the figure might be some kind of entity, perhaps a spirit or ghost. The pale appearance and the eerie, almost ethereal quality of the figure led some to believe that it wasn't a living person at all, but rather something from beyond our realm. Others suggested it could be a trick of the light or perhaps an optical illusion caused by the natural surroundings. But no matter the explanation, the image has left many people feeling uneasy. What would you do if you suspected your wife was trying to kill you? Well, this next clip isn't our usual, but it's a classified capture worth sharing. Robbie, the man in question, had a nightly routine. He would prep his coffee in the coffee maker before going to bed, so it was ready to go in the morning. But something strange was happening. As you can see in the footage, his wife Melody would sneak into the kitchen early in the morning, look around suspiciously, grab something from behind the counter, and pour it in the coffee grounds. Typically, Robbie will just mix his coffee with no problem and go about his day. In recent times, however, Robbie had become suspicious. He noticed something off about his coffee. When he cleaned out the coffee maker, he found it was unusually foamy. Sometimes he even smelled bleach coming from it. Since then, he only pretended to drink it, secretly collecting more evidence. This went on for a while, with Robbie playing along to ensure he had enough proof. After he gathered enough evidence, Robbie went to the police. Melody was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Can you imagine living with someone you love only to find out that they're trying to kill you? It's chilling. Thankfully, Robbie's quick thinking and determination helped him uncover the truth and protect himself. It's a good thing he figured it out now before he became a ghost that wouldn't leave his apartment. These are some of the reasons why people are always on edge when the theory of governments hiding things from us comes up. Take a look at this strange footage recorded over Larsen Bay, Alaska. Did you see it when the slow-mo came? That was a large, round, planet-like object seen moving in the sky. According to reports, the footage was taken on a live stream, and after it aired, it was quickly taken down by authorities. Many took that to mean that the clip was legitimate. But if the clip is truly legitimate, then just what are we looking at here? Some individuals on the paranormal platform believe it was Nibiru, the mythical rogue planet. Others mention the Death Star straight out of Star Wars. Not everyone is convinced, though. One skeptic suggested it was just a lens flare, an optical illusion caused by the camera. On a normal day, I would jump onto that bandwagon, but the removal of the footage by the FAA only fuels the fire and doubt of all who saw it. Why would they take it down if there was nothing to hide? It's actions like these that make people suspicious and keep conspiracy theories alive. What do you think? Look at this beautiful little fella, a fish swimming gracefully in the shallow water, and it almost looks like it has blue wings. This stunning creature is known as the bluefin gurnard. Its vibrant, wing-like wings are not only eye-catching but also serve as an important purpose. When these fins are spread out, they resemble wings, giving the fish its unique appearance. The bluefin gurnard uses these fins to scare off predators and to stir up the sand on the ocean floor as it hunts for food. This next footage was taken after a heavy rainfall, and it's got everyone talking. A man was checking on his farm, wading through the muddy ground covered with plants and roots, when something unusual caught his attention. He used a stick to tap the roots, and suddenly they moved. Did you catch that? The roots actually shifted as if they were alive. He even threw the stick further, and whether it landed, the same thing happened. The roots moved again. It's bizarre, like the ground itself is responding. Could this be some kind of natural phenomenon, or is there something more mysterious at play here? What do you think? Next, we have footage we haven't had in a while on this channel, and by that, I mean footage of a child lost in the forest. Take a look. As you can see, there's a young child roaming the forest at night. The uploader of the footage insists that there are no settlements in this part of the wood where the camera that captured this was located. Due to this fact, he finds it hard to believe this footage exists and thinks we're dealing with a ghost or spirit. But are we now? It's hard to say, but I'm having one of those hunches that this footage isn't real. Although there's not much to go within the footage, if this image was captured in the woods, there should definitely be more foliage than we're seeing in the capture. Don't get me wrong, but it looks like this was captured in the city or at least a developed area. I suspect that the pole to the boy's right might not necessarily be a tree or a shrub, but possibly a utility pole in a residential area. A part of me just feels like someone is looking for their 5 minutes of fame. But what do you think? Nocturnal creatures have special eyes that help them to see through the night and also reflect light. So you'll often see a pair of eyes floating in the dark when these creatures are around. In this trail cam footage, however, people are unsure if the eyes belong to an animal or something ominous. In the footage, we can see an unsuspecting moose standing in a field in the dead of the night. Behind it is a woodland, but in the woodlands are eyes floating in the dark. They seem to be stalking the moose as it moves strangely. Nature enthusiasts and skeptics alike are left pondering the identity of these eyes. Some argue it could be the calculated gaze of a mountain lion or a stealthy cougar silently maneuvering through the shadows. However, the plot thickens as a faction of believers emerges, suggesting a more cryptic presence. Could it be the elusive Bigfoot lurking in the darkness and keeping an eye on the unsuspecting moose? A patient lies unconscious on the hospital bed while a doctor hovers over them performing what appears to be a routine procedure. But something's off. As the doctor gently pulls something from the patient's mouth, you realize it's not just a simple medical instrument, it's something strange, something that shouldn't be there. And suddenly the situation feels anything but routine. Look closely at what the doctor is pulling out. It's a long, writhing creature. At first glance, it looks like a snake, but there's something unsettling about it. Some are calling it a parasite, but can a parasite really grow this long? And more importantly, how could something like this have found its way inside a person? What do you think, though? Could this really be a parasite, or did a snake get into his body? And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.